You talk about the reverse call before the end of the first half. I mean,
You just got we talked about it, but I'll go real quick for you. I'll give you the condensed version. Well, we put the formation in the boundary with the thinking that if we got caught with it, we still had 2 timeouts. So we weren't worried about running the ball. One try thought maybe they were really pursuing to the ball. So we felt like we may get them to pursue and have a shot to get in the end zone, make somebody miss. Didn't happen, but we get the timeout and we came back and threw Deserver the next play and had a shot at it. Just got to make that play. But it was just, take a shot at it. One of the things people don't realize sometimes, you get the ball in those situations, you have timeouts, the run and pass are available to you.
Where's the confidence of this group offensively as a whole unit at right now?
I think they're really confident. I think a lot more confident than people think because we're moving the ball. And, outside of that quadruple, it was like the triple Lindy in what was that movie, Back to School. It bounced off every possible thing up in the air and they pick it off. But if we score there, it's a 30-point game, and that's a pretty good day.
Yeah.
Against a Big Ten team with a win like we had to deal with today, and with a team that knowing, when we were going to the wind, those safeties were creeping up and up and up and up, and it wasn't easy.
Have you seen that change, that progress as the season's sort of gone along?
We came back from Temple. We had a pretty good feeling about where we were because Joe really gave the offense a vote of confidence, and I think that was probably the turning point of the season. Is when he said, "Go for it," because in the past. The Alabama game, when things started to go wrong, when we had the fumble and they scored, everybody kind of went, "Oh, here we go again." And Temple, when all the things that didn't go right happened, we offensively, defensively, everybody just kept fighting with the belief that something good would happen, and something did. We got the 4th and 1, and Joe said, "Go for it." And those kids came in that locker room and they were thanking Joe and thanks for giving us that confidence. And they played with confidence since then.
Was there any? Was it positive reinforcement through the whole thing, or was there ever a moment where it was like, you guys got to get it together offensively?
No, we've just been pretty positive with them and just keep working and keep going after it. They look at it and they realize we're just a couple of mistakes away from doing some things, and we made a couple things a day, and but we're winning. So that's all they really, all they care about is we're winning. So
once again, Matt was the guy with the game on the line, essentially. What does that say? Is there any?
No. Rob went in Temple and took us down the field and won the game. Made a 3rd and 8 throw and a 4th and 3 throw. So it wasn't anything. Matt got a little bit of a hot hand, and then after the fluke interception, I just didn't want to pull him out of there and send him a message. You're dealing with people. You're dealing with human beings. These aren't robots. So you have to take into account psyche. You have to take into account mentality. And you got to understand we got 5 more big games to play, and you got to have both guys confident that they can play.
Is this a strange feeling playing psychologist as much as you've sort of had to?
You always play psychologist.
Okay.
When you coach quarterbacks, it is always psychology. Even if you got a guy that's rolling, you got to bring him back sometimes because they get a little too confident, make some throws they shouldn't make. So you're always playing psychologist.
Is that particular to the position? Or?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Quarterbacks can be. All these kids that are like tennis players. Because tennis players out there on its own.
Right.
Now the quarterbacks aren't, but as far as the world looks at them, they're out there on their own. If Tom Brady throws a pick, it doesn't matter if the receiver's in the wrong place. He threw a pick. So it's at the end of the day, Matt's throw into the end zone will go down as interception, even though it bounced off. It's not going to say bounced off that guy, hit both legs, went straight up in the air. So you have to deal with them more differently than you deal with it. So having coached other positions,
specifically that play though, how do you handle that? What do you say to Matt after that happens? Do you just
I can't exactly tell you what.
Okay.
It would probably be if I was texting it. It would be a W, a T, and another letter. Let's put it that way. H.
Right. Okay.
Okay, let's keep it that way. Okay.